Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 steps to plan your day as an entrepreneur. It's very hard to be successful if you don't plan your day. You want to make sure that you plan your work and you work your plan. So let's talk about exactly how you need to plan your day. You're going to get right into it. So the very first step is to never start the day until you have it finished. I'm going to say that again. Never start the day until you have it finished. When I say that quote, what comes to mind? What do you think I mean when I say never start the day until you have it finished? I heard that famous quote from Jack Canfield, who was a best-selling author. And when he said it, I didn't know what he meant at first, and then I thought about it. I said, you know what, that actually does make sense. It means never go into the next day before you have it planned from start to finish on paper. So before you start Monday, what does Monday look like on paper from start to finish? So never start the day, the new day, until you have it already wrapped up on paper, on complete, so you know exactly and specifically what you're going to be doing for each hour of the day. All right. So step 2 is have a daily schedule, not a to-do list, but a schedule. Now, a schedule lays out not only when you start a project or a task, but when you complete a project and a task. Now, you want to make sure that when you do your schedule, that you plan what needs to be done when you start, what needs to be done when you finish. You also want to plan your breaks. I do not recommend you to work an hour, 2 hours straight. You want to make sure you schedule out your breaks. Take time to walk away from your workstation, whatever it is that you're doing, get away from it. Move around, walk around, take a nap. Whatever you need to do to get away from your workstation, that is vital to you being productive. It'll increase your productivity when you're able to take breaks. Now, when it comes to scheduling your day, the first thing that you want to schedule and make sure that you have is a daily routine. You want to have a morning routine and you want to have an evening routine. What are those things that you're doing every single morning to get you ready, prepared for the day? Not just for your day in terms of your professionally, but your personal self. Are you reading books? Are you feeding yourself intellectually and learning about what's going on in your industry about yourself? Are you working out in the morning? Are you praying? Are you meditating? What are you doing to start your day every single day? Because you should be preparing your mind before you prepare anything else to start your day. I strongly suggest you don't start your day off with social media. Start your day off with doing something productive that's going to feed your mind first. And when you schedule your day, you also want to make sure that you have time to read, to learn more about yourself and your industry, and to write. Write down what you learned from the day, write down what you would like to learn, write down your experiences, write these things down and refer it back to. All right, so that's step 2. Step number 3, eat that frog. I know it sounds funny. That is the name of a book, the title of a book from Brian Tracy, who's a multi-millionaire for a long time now. He has a book called Eat That Frog. It is an analogy that allows you to understand that the very first thing that you should do to start your day, when you start your work day, is to do the hardest thing first. Eat that frog. Because the thing about it is, when you do the hardest thing first, everything else will be easy. So I'm not talking about when you have to go on an appointment. What I'm talking about is when you start your entrepreneurial day, whatever is going to be the most impactful thing for you to do towards your business, to push your business to where you want it to go, you want to make sure you focus on doing that thing first. So let's say that you get a phone call and you're called to start to end your day immediately. What task that if you do this first, you have at least had a good part of your day taken care of? Whatever that task is, do that first. Oftentimes, it's being on the phones, it's making connections, it's making sales calls, it's building relationships. Oftentimes, depends on your industry, but oftentimes, if you're in business for yourself, you're either selling your product or you're selling your service. You're selling your product and your service usually to somebody else. So you want to make sure you're on the phones, building, cultivating relationships, letting people know that you're still in business and you're here to work and you're here to serve. All right. And you want to focus on the most dollar producing activities. So my business, one of them is real estate. So real estate is a relationship business, so I should always be building and cultivating relationships. So a dollar producing activity for me is on the phone, calling individuals, seeing what I can do to assist. That should be something that I do every single day. There are a lot of other things that I could be doing. I could be out looking at homes that I'm not showing anybody. I'm just previewing homes. There are social media posts. There are so many things that I could be doing. But if I just focus on doing the most dollar producing activity, then everything else will flow after that. So that's step 3. Step number 4, daily reflection. After you've wrapped up your day, you want to go back and look at what you've done throughout that day and determine, did you get tasks done that you needed to get done? What did you actually, when the day is over and complete, what did you get done? What did you have accomplished? Are you moving that much closer to your goal because of what you did today? And if the answer is no, then you need to go back and do something different for the next day going forward. All right. And then you want to make sure that you start scheduling for the next day. So reflect on what was done and start scheduling for what needs to be done for the next day going forward. Whatever you got done today, make sure that you know if it was on your schedule to do. So you need to know if you need to push something from yesterday or today to the next day. And that would be step 4. And then the last thing is step 5 is repeat. It's all about a repetitive process. You want to make sure you're doing the same thing every single day. Guys, when it comes to building, when it comes to growing, when it comes to scaling, oftentimes it is the boring, the mundane, the meticulous activities that need to be done that are really going to yield the biggest return. It's the boring things. It's the phone calls. It's the little things that we really don't want to do that are really going to push our business forward. So make sure that you're focusing on those mundane tasks, whatever they need to be for you. And your success is going to come from you being repetitive, and it's going to come from you being consistent on doing these things. This is going to take discipline. Remember, discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Guys, I want to make sure that you understand these are the 5 steps as an entrepreneur to take your business to the next level. Make sure that you're doing these every single day. In subsequent videos, I'll be going a little bit deeper dive into how you can actually do this, but this is a good start to understand these 5 steps can take you from where you are to where you want to go. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I'd like to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.